What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to make this video because I think it's going to be the most important video that I make for people that are just getting into cryptocurrency. They're just getting into Bitcoin. They're just starting to learn about it and especially just starting to invest their money into it. So I'm going to make this my kind of main video on YouTube, and it's going to be my main recommendation for anybody that's listening on the podcast. It's 7 things that nobody tells you to expect when you get into Bitcoin or get into cryptocurrency. Oftentimes, most of us are attracted to this whole thing because of the money that the people around us are making, the incredible gains that they're seeing, and their friends are bragging and showing off. And then we have this sense of FOMO. We don't want to miss out on this potentially life-changing opportunity. And so we just dive right in without, I guess, being warned by our friends that are kind of showing off and bragging about the things that you really should expect. And now these are things that you don't necessarily have to understand. I'm going to be taking each of these points and making separate videos about them later. But like I said, they're just things that I want you to expect so that when they come up, you don't make really bad decisions and you don't potentially lose money or lose the potential to make more money, or even worse is just get discouraged and leave the space completely, and then actually end up missing out on life-changing opportunity. So let's just get right into it. The first one you might actually know is volatility. This is something that you need to expect because while the price of Bitcoin and some of these other cryptocurrencies can skyrocket faster than you can even believe, they can also drop very quickly too. And it's a roller coaster that you have to have patience, and you have to have kind of courage to ride it. The other thing about the volatility is that as you watch your portfolio grow, as you invest in these things, and you see your portfolio grow and grow and grow, you're going to be keeping tabs on that portfolio, and it's going to keep reaching all-time highs, ATHs. And anything below that all-time high is going to feel like a loss. Which brings us to point number 2, expect to feel sadness, okay? There are so many opportunities for you to feel unhappy or to feel like you missed out or to feel like you missed an opportunity. And that's because there's infinite decisions that you can make. And you'll see with 2020 hindsight for yourself when you didn't make the exact correct decision. So it's all about making the smartest decisions that you can at the time. And especially as you learn more and more about these different altcoins, you learn more and more about, buying low and selling high. You realize that you didn't buy at the lowest or you didn't sell at the highest. And then all of those things can feel like a loss. It can also feel like a loss when you miss out on an altcoin that was on your radar. Perhaps you started learning about and doing your research on some of these different projects that are coming out. And once that knowledge is added to your queue, and then that coin takes off or that project takes off and is experiencing incredible gains, you feel like if you didn't invest in that thing, that you missed out on it. That, oh my God, I knew about this thing. I knew I should have bought it at that time. I knew I should have just jumped on that train. But the thing is, did you really? Were you really ready to pull the trigger on that and buy those coins and ready to jump on that train? It's easy to trick yourself into thinking that you made a stupid decision by not jumping on it. But really, you got to be honest with yourself and ask yourself if you actually really did miss that opportunity, or it's just one of millions of opportunities that you could have jumped onto once you get into this space. But you got to really see that as not a loss and try not to be sad about missing that. And this is really important. It's way better to miss out on an opportunity to make money than it is to lose money. And trust me, there's going to be plenty of chances for both of those things. And that leads us to number 3, which is the rabbit hole. And many of you came into this space like I did to make money, but and you're going to make a lot of it, in my opinion. Again, all of this isn't financial advice. Like, nothing on this channel is financial advice, but that's just my opinion that you're going to make a ton of money in this revolution. But the side effect of making money is diving deeper and deeper into Bitcoin and into blockchain technology and realizing what some of these altcoins are attempting to do. And there's going to be moments where it's just going to click, and you'll realize that this thing isn't just a gimmick. It's something that can solve a real world problem, especially when it's a real world problem that you might actually have, that you have experienced before. There's going to be moments where you're just like, oh my God, I get it. Like, I get why this thing is so important. I get why cryptocurrencies, why blockchain technology is so important to the world. And that's when things get a little bit crazy, and you might get really sucked into learning as much as you possibly can about it, not just for what's going to be the next potential gains that you can make financially, but which of these technologies are actually going to change the world. And that's when you really jump on board to this revolution and realize there's more to it than just potentially making money. There's things that can change the world. And the things that can change the world are the things that are going to make you a ton of money, because as these things get adopted, as the technologies actually come out, as products actually come out, and they start to get used by people in everyday life that don't even realize that it's based on a blockchain technology, that's where things get crazy, when mainstream adoption starts to happen. So just expect to be sucked in, expect to spend a lot of time just learning about all of the things that cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology have to offer, and just kind of set a little bit of time aside for yourself, and realize that maybe some of your other hobbies might kind of fall to the wayside. Maybe you won't be watching Netflix every day. Maybe you'll be watching YouTube videos with Vitalik Buterin, or all these other fascinatingly intelligent people in the space that are going to offer their opinion, and expect to just never quite understand exactly what all these smart people are talking about, but to try to grasp it as best as you can. Okay, number 4 is parabolic growth. And that's not just parabolic growth with the amount of money that you can be making, the value in these coins as they just skyrocket, and you can't even believe how fast they're going, but also like a parabolic growth in terms of time. Time is a funny thing in cryptocurrency. It's sometimes when you look back to last month or last year, it seems like a completely different world. I think time goes at like a 10x multiplier in this sphere. Like a day can feel like a week, and a week can feel like 2 months. And if you're not ready for that, or expecting that type of parabolic growth, it can be and also parabolic time frames, it can be somewhat disconcerting, and it can really lead to that FOMO, because you know how quickly things can change and how quickly things can grow, and it can make you deviate from your game plan that you have set for yourself. But it's really important to stick with your plans when you make them, and not try to get sucked in by that extra FOMO that you get when you really do start to experience these parabolic growths for the first time. It's really important to remain patient, even though things go very quickly. Just hang in there. Okay. Just be patient. Don't make rash decisions. Okay. Number 5 is scams. Now, a lot of people call Bitcoin a scam, or a Ponzi scheme, or fill in the blank, a bubble. But a bubble is a very broad term, but Bitcoin is not a scam. And you'll quickly learn that once you learn about the blockchain technology, learn about what Bitcoin is trying to do, learn how much interest and investment there is in Bitcoin, as well as many of these altcoins as well. However, there are scams within the industry, and some of these ICOs that are coming out haven't necessarily, I mean, a lot of them have actually proven to be a scam, but there's also actual like Ponzi schemes going on. BitConnect is one of those popular type of kind of Ponzi schemes where they promise a 1 to 2% like return every day on your investment. It's a lending platform, so you basically lend them your Bitcoin, and you get in return, you get like cash back, like 2% of the investment every day. And a lot of it's just an unsustainable type of model that hasn't necessarily um, I don't know what to say. It hasn't died yet, or it hasn't like all come crashing down yet. There's a ton of people that are in BitConnect that are shilling BitConnect because they have a pyramid type of referral program. BitConnect, in my opinion, is something that you should stay very far away from if you are just getting into the sphere. You are going to see a lot of advertisements for BitConnect with people showing off their wallets and showing how much Bitcoin they've made from BitConnect. And I'm not saying that they haven't made that money, but they are at the top of this pyramid. And I think that the later and later you get into some of these things, the greater the potential that you're going to be the one that is going to be the one to lose their money with them. Now, there's going to be a lot of haters. I don't know how many people watch this channel yet, but anytime somebody speaks out about BitConnect, all the BitConnect followers, all the BitConnect people that are invested in it usually come and to BitConnect's rescue and talk trash. And no, it's not a scam. I've made so much money. And yes, perhaps they have. But I think BitConnect in particular has survived because of Bitcoin's parabolic growth, because Bitcoin continues to grow and grow and grow. If Bitcoin had not gone on this parabolic growth and continued on it, I think that would have crashed and burned already. But there's tons of scams. There's tons of ways that people that want your Bitcoin, and there's really no way to trace them back. Once you send them your Bitcoin, they have it. And there's no government entity that's going to come in and save you. So be very careful who you send your Bitcoin to. Do research on all of these things. And just because if something sounds too good to be true, and if somebody guarantees gains for you, that you just can't guarantee anything. There's no guarantees in this sphere. I keep saying sphere. I got to find a different word for it, but just be very careful because there are scams within the cryptocurrency community. Be very, very careful because I think a lot of them are going to start to crash and burn now, and it's going to bring a terrible actual bad news to cryptocurrency and a bad name to cryptocurrency. So be very careful what you do. And just because other people have made money from it, it doesn't mean that it's not a scam. And there are plenty of ICOs as well that are scams that don't ever have, they just plagiarize a white paper and they don't have any intention of actually making a product. They just want you to ship them your Bitcoin and then they have it and there you go. All right. So number 6 is mistakes. And this is one that no matter if you're an expert or you're a beginner, you always have to be vigilant about making sure that you get your decimal places right. If you want to send a Bitcoin to somebody or a certain amount, changing one decimal point or adding 1 0 or taking away 1 0 can make a 10x mistake even bigger. You have to just double and triple check before you transfer any type of cryptocurrency that it's the right amount and also that it's the right address. These are very long characters. Like it's not like you can send it to bob@yahoo.com. No, it's just an address that's just a string of random characters. So you want to make sure that you are entering that right. Double check, triple check before you hit send. Along with that, in the past, some of these exchanges have been hacked. Some of these exchanges have gone under. And if that happens and your cryptocurrency is on the exchange, you're going to lose it all. Again, there's no government entity that's going to come in and save your money and send it back to you. The whole point of the decentralization is that you are in control of your money. And we're going to have future videos about that, about how to best protect your investments, your cryptocurrency, when you get them, so that when you are storing them on a decentralized, or when you're storing them on a centralized exchange or platform, that you don't have to worry about what happens to them. You only have to worry about the mistakes that you make, not the mistakes that they make. So it's very important to, again, make sure that you're sending the right amount to the right address, always double and triple checking that, and also trying to keep control of your own cryptocurrencies in the safest way possible. whether you're keeping it on a Ledger Nano S or another hard wallet or paper wallet. It's really important to know what you're doing when you're sending it back and forth, and know what you're doing when you're storing it for yourself. Again, we'll have future videos about that, but it's just important to remember forever. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced user, always be double and triple checking that. I've made mistakes before. Sometimes I've been saved by either an exchange saying, "Did you really mean to enter that amount?" We're going to get into that too. Some exchanges do that and some just let you do it. But there have been plenty of mistakes that people have made. So just be really careful, because there is no recourse for it. And number 7, which is the whole theme of this channel, is that you suck. You suck at Bitcoin. It's important to remember that. It's easy to get cocky. It's easy to feel like you have this thing completely under wraps, but it's important to remember that you are swimming with sharks and whales, and don't get it twisted. Just because you are making a ton of money, it does not make you an expert. You are just along for the ride. Unless you are a whale yourself, I don't know why you're watching this video or this channel, but you are just a little fish in a big pond, in a big ocean, actually, and you're lucky to be along for the ride. So don't get cocky. As soon as you start to feel invulnerable or invincible, or that you can't make a wrong decision, that's usually when you make the biggest decision that's going to destroy your bankroll. Or I keep saying bankroll as a poker player, but it's going to destroy your portfolio. So just always be looking to learn from your mistakes. You will be making mistakes, I promise you that. But this kind of goes against what other channels try to promote. They're trying to make you super excited about cryptocurrency, which you absolutely should be. But I think there's too much of that noise in that echo chamber about this is the next big coin, this is the next big coin, this is the potential gains you can make. And it can make you feel like you're an expert, that just because you watched a few YouTube videos from a few people like me who sucks at Bitcoin, who's just along for the ride. It's really important to remind yourself that you do suck, that you are swimming with sharks and whales, like I always say, and that you're lucky to be along that ride. So just be careful and make the best decisions that you can make, and learn from your mistakes when you do make them. Again, more videos to come about all of these things in depth, but I just wanted to give, especially beginners out there, just a taste for what you're looking to expect, especially the sadness part. I think that that's something that people don't tell you about, is that there's inevitably going to be sadness, because even if you're up 50% on your investment, if you were at one point up 120% on that investment and then it went back down, it doesn't feel like a win. But you got to remember that it is a win as long as you're making money. And it's important to not be always looking at that all-time high of your portfolio and comparing it to that. Compare it to what you initially invested, and making sure that it just continues to steadily grow. I think that's the most important advice I can give. But that's all I've got for today. I know I probably preached on and on more than I wanted to, but I just wanted to give you a kind of basic understanding of what you should expect if you are just getting into the sphere, or even if you have been in cryptocurrency for a while and haven't faced some of these things head on yet, just to make you kind of aware of that. That's it for today. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully you know what to expect going forward. Good luck, everybody. And remember, you suck at Bitcoin, but that doesn't mean that you can't make a ton of money. Let's do it. Bye.